Thank you for listening to a very special edition of the Court of Public Opinion this Saturday night at Political Theater. You're going to want to stay tuned for more. A very exciting episode up next.
Whatever happened to my Transylvania Twist? It's now the Monster Mash. And it's a graveyard smash. It's caught on in a flash. It's now the Monster Mash. Now everything's cool, cracks a part of the band. And my Monster Mash is the hit of the land. For you, the living, this mash was meant to. When you get to my door, tell them all is sent. Then you can Monster Mash and do my graveyard smash. You'll catch on in a flash. Then you can Monster Mash. Easy go, you impetuous young boy.
Thank you for tuning in to the Court of Public Opinion. This is a Saturday night, and this might be rated R for those people. If you had a buzzkill, this is your buzzkill. Well, I've seen a lot of things in my life, but I can't seem to get my head off this one. This one, if you take a good look at that, that would ruin it. It's Saturday night. It's a busy night again. Yep, welcome to the Court of Public Opinion, because there's some people, like in the case of like police officers just driving past, they're rescuing people. I don't know how you rescue a guy from this kind of problem right here in front of us, front and center. And, you know, Eddies, everyone, take a good look at that. Now, I don't know anybody that has, I have no desire to go down this road with anybody. But, you know, I thank God every day that I don't have to have this problem ever again. I don't know why anybody would want to promote this, first of all. They have no idea what they're promoting. And that is one confused man right there. Do I have to say any more? That would kill anybody's buzz. That's about it. But let's go to this news report, because we're going to do some theater, political theater, because it's so much better than what I just saw. Okay, ready? Buzzkill, buzzkill. This is all we hear about. A scandal, another scandal, another shocker, another shocking moment. What could possibly go wrong with this? Nothing could go. Buzzkill. Well, anyway, that would kill anybody's buzz on a Saturday night. It's all theater. This is Saturday night. Saturday night. This is Saturday Night Live. Oh my goodness gracious, Lord Almighty. What have we got ourselves into? Oh wow. This is, if people have a problem with drama, all you have to do is turn CNN, Fox News. And you will see your play. If you want to see drama, just go on, watch their news channels. This is real life drama. So let's read that tweet. Kelly, who Trump praised effusiously from stage in LI, isn't more than afloat as potential Priebus replacement for a few people. Click. I don't even watch this stuff anymore. I don't really know what they're talking about anymore. I suppose it would matter if there was people that actually listen to our posts and actually watch our program and actually entertain themselves with this nonsense. But actually, when you think about how you interpretate this, and then you use the interpretation's better than the actual story itself. So looking at the interpretation, I would prefer the interpretation to be this rather than the other stuff, because I prefer the interpretation of this because I don't really understand. But when you put it in that perspective, you explain it in such a way that it really does make more sense that politics sucks. Now that I know that, this stuff keeps us up all night, 24/7. So every night we go to bed. And like, it's Saturday night. And, I don't know about you, but here in Transylvania, this is what we deal with. We deal with the all-nighters, the graveyard shift. Welcome to the third watch update. Because on the third watch, we don't know what's coming out of that grave this time. But there's some things that have been unearthed that I don't know about. This is political theater. Knock, knock, knock. What happened? I heard there was a scandal again. What would think that there would be such a scandal such as this? Oh, it's TV. TV's like this. Don't you know that in the scene they were supposed to do this, but they didn't do that? Oh, well, I certainly agree that while performing, I don't know, but I would choose a different scandal. Let's try something different. The next day. Yes. Room service. Yes. What is going on? Okay. Okay. Hello. Your dinner. So, oh, this must be Beauty and the Beast. Let me assume for a moment that I'm Beauty and you're the Beast. No, this is just your dinner. Toodles. Theater. It's one of those things. I never thought that I would ever consider myself as a theatrical person, much less drama. But drama is our story, and we're here to tell the story. Well, in the military, we have a special operation, and everything has to be done in such a way, protocols, etc. Paperwork, you can send orders over there, over there, up there, down there, all around. And you know what? All we know is that we have to be at this location, at this time, at this place, and be there on time. You got my orders. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Got it. being the commander or chief is a really hard job, and being one of those female commanders, I recognize how important this job is. And part of the theater behind war is that sometimes in the backdrop you don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. Let's take a look at what's going on behind the scenes. I really want my mommy. I don't like this job. It sucks. Sandra. Are you kidding me? There's no transgender dad behavior. Get out of the army, you dipshit. They don't want us anymore. Too dramatic. The reason they have the Trump ban is because we actually have to get things done. Ding dong. Sandra here. You know what? The reason they kicked you out is because they need to get to work. Ding dong. And you're really holding things up. So go home. Your orders are go home. ASAP. Now. Bolt. These are your orders. But I signed up with a pink uniform and now they're telling me goodbye. I just don't know what to do. I waited all my life for this exchange operation and I don't know what to say. This is total rejection. What am I supposed to do? Go back into the closet? Oh. Yes. Go back to the closet where you belong. Shut the door and take 5 minutes and pray about it. Next. In every story, you notice that the transgender concerns, obviously, for every commander, it's very important. We have to meet the needs of the military and even those people that are being discharged at this point. Next. Thank you for listening to Political Theater. There is more up next. You want to stay tuned for this scene. Yes. Gosh, I never get anything done. What? Yes. Ma'am, there's that girl, I don't know, guy. He's crying and he has makeup all over his uniform. Is there anything that we can do to help him? I really don't know. Actually, I've been trying to get some work done, but it seems like we've been rudely interrupted. What's the problem? What could possibly go wrong with this? Well, since President Trump said it was time for them to leave, I don't know, but they've been crying up a storm, and I'm not sure. Maybe this is their final departure, but I'm pretty sure they were told they had to leave. Yes, I authorized that. I actually have to because this is what the president ordered, because we actually have real work to do, and we can't have a bunch of crying people. We actually have work to do. Well, is there any way you can go over there and calm them down? Because I think they're very upset. They don't like these orders. They don't like to be discharged. Well, I certainly don't want them being discharged, but there are certain reasons why they're being discharged. It's not anything personal. It's actually because those missions are pretty dangerous, and we don't need any more mix-ups. I mean, we only have 55 sexes to figure out here, so we're a little slow. Okay, well, I thought you should know because I don't know, but maybe you should see for yourself. Okay, well, listen, I'll get to that in a moment. No, I think you should do that now. Okay, I agree. And you know what? Thank you for taking the time to explain it to me, because I really didn't realize how serious this was. And I understand it's a very big squabbling match for some people. It's a left-right issue. This becomes a personal issue, and I am concerned, and I don't want people to be upset, okay? Yeah, I think you should just go over there and talk to them. Okay. I'll do that here in a moment. In this scene, what you have noticed is that obviously discharging militaries are very hard. Separation is very difficult. And because so many people are in transition, one of the things I understand about transition is this is all about transition. This has been the problem all along. Thank you for listening to more here at Political Theater. You're going to stay tuned for the finale. I wanted to ask everybody to follow in here. I want you all to know that this is a really hard decision, to be in a position where I have to tell somebody or ask them that they have to clean up their locker. I don't want to have to do that. So if there's any way that we can make an agreement with the DOJ or the military, we would. But there is a serious operation, and this is the one operation that this is why that had to go into place. And if you knew the seriousness of these operations, you would totally get what's going on. It's not a matter of qualifications. It's a matter of a gender issue because that's been the conflict with both co-ed, barracks, and etc. That's been an issue for over 30 years. It's not something you did, but because of that decision, we have to make sure everybody gets the proper discharge paperwork. Does anybody have any concern? Yes, I went through the full surgery and now I regret it because I wanted to be somebody important. And the only time I ever got attention is when I was a woman. And now I'm really thinking about all my decisions and it's making me think about things. And I wondered if maybe all my life was a lie. That somebody told me that I was Sandra and I'm not Sandra. And now I have an identity issue. Well, listen, I know that identity is an issue. And I know that there are things that have to be sorted out that can't be sorted out here. That doesn't mean we can't do it at a different capacity. And I know that there's one thing that I've learned in this is finding yourself. And maybe this is that starting point. You might not look at it as the beginning, but you might have looked at this all wrong from the beginning. I know a couple stories where people always put the cart before the horse, you know that? And it is a mixed up issue when you got men and women have been raised as boys or girls when they are not boys and girls. And a lot of times that's the fault of the parents. And as a woman, I don't want to raise my sons or daughters, if I was a mother, that I would not want to raise my kids with those confusing messages. So maybe the only thing we can do is unlearn those bad behaviors or unlearn habits. Sometimes what happens is sometimes parents don't take the time to explain things. Why does a boy like adults? Well, you know what? I don't know, always know. But I like trucks too. So, we don't have to confuse this issue. People like things and it's not always about a gender. It's just because you like it. In this special dramatization about transgender issues, the moral of the story is a lot of people are faced with conflicts and issues about who they are and what they are. And if you've been told wrong messages all your life, you start to believe it. And the problem that a lot of the younger people have been taught different messages, which to me explains where the lack of mom and dad are. It would be clear to any child if they saw a loving mom and dad love and hold each other's hand that they would not know any problems like this, but they have not grown up in a society where mom and dad loved each other. And it's clear to me that the lack of mom and dad, the parenting, is really the issue. I could conclude that in every case, in every story, that men and women who are raised with mixed messages, often confused, would end up where we're at in this time period where transition being a conflict. We have young men and women that are ready to change everything about themselves and they don't have to change a thing. They're everything we hope they could be. They're sensitive, they're sweet. And you know what? There's a soft spot in all our heart for people that have been through conflict. And my only prayer is that each of them have been shown that kind of courtesy, that kind of grace, that kind of unconditional acceptance, that we love them. They don't have to change a thing. Thank you for listening to Political Theater. You'll get to listen to more, hopefully very soon. God bless, and God bless you. If you would like to watch more here at Political Theater, please stay tuned because we got a camera, we got lights, and we got everything. And we have more than... We have so much to offer. Please, don't let us go like this. And you will want to stay tuned for more at Political Theater coming very soon. Thanks again for listening to the Court of Public Opinion. If you would like to support our theater and our work, please continue to support us at Patreon. And we have live theater coming very soon. You're not going to want to miss the theatrical performances coming very soon to a town near you.